Hey guys, hope you all have been well. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be a little grinchy and we're going to be talking about products that if the makeup police showed up at my doorstep and said you must surrender one article of makeup in each category, these are the items I would present to them. I think the best way to do this is the way that I would put on my makeup. So we're going to start off with primer. Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. Now, I think we should preface by saying that I have three primers. A NARS one for like it's mattifying, and I think it's pore filling as well. I feel like it is. I have the Becca All Matte something, which is really strong, and then there's this one. This does great at filling in my pores, but out of the three, this is the most emollient, and because I have oily skin, it just doesn't fare well if I want my makeup to stay all day. I do find I get a little bit more oily in comparison to the other two, and since they all kind of do what I need them to do for pores, the next thing I need to take care of is my oil control, and this just happens to be the one that makes me the most oily. It hurts me because I do like it, but if I had to give one up, it's gotta be this one. I normally do my brows next, which I know is kind of weird. Does anyone else feel like if you put foundation on first, then your eyebrows get like really slippery, and I hate it. This is the one that I feel I don't always get the most desired outcome when I put it on. I love my Brow Wiz. I love my pomade from Anastasia. If I still had the, I think it's called, is it Brow Boss or something like that? It's the very thin pencil from ColourPop. I did not like that. It was too creamy for my liking. I prefer drier, waxier formulas. So I would go with that if I still had it. But since I only have these three, I'm just gonna go with this pomade. Foundation, easy. I don't have many foundations. I have three different types, and I only have this because I want to finish it. That's it. Only reason. This is the Maybelline Matte and Poreless. This is raved about. I still watch people's videos and they're like, this is my favorite drugstore foundation. And I'm like, what? But why? But why? I feel like it's streaky on my face. I don't get the love for it. I genuinely don't like this product and I would not repurchase it. I just own it because, well, it's there. And, well, I just don't want to waste the other two products that I do enjoy. So I'll mix it up with this sometimes. And to follow that, I know it's not necessarily the next step in my routine, but I just want to follow up since we're on the same track. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Powder. Matte and Poreless as well. I don't like this powder. I'm going to show it to you and you're going to think, well, that's almost pan. Yes, because I want to finish it. I don't want to just throw it away. So these are my video makeup stash. I do not use this when I go out, nor do I use the foundation. I don't like it. I just have to use it. The Rimmel Stay Matte Powder, perfection. I love that powder. It is my favorite one that I've tried from the drugstore, and I will continue to purchase that one. I don't see the hype behind this powder either. Maybe I'm just not made for the Fit Me line. Maybe that's just it. It doesn't fit me. Didn't. Yeah. Let's go to concealer. LA Girl Pro Conceal. This is my second go at it. Both times I ended up getting colors that I don't like, but it's not even the shade. It's everything to do with how it applies on my face. Maybe it's because I don't put on as much concealer as most people do when they brighten their under eye. I just kind of like to put a little bit and make that kind of spread throughout my under eye area. So something like Shape Tape, something like the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, both of the ones that I really do enjoy having in my collection. I can just use a little bit and it covers a bigger area. This, I feel like you would need a lot of product and it's streaky. I have really good concealer brushes that work well with my other concealers, so it's not the brush. This is just streaky. The only reason I have it is because I use this for cut creases, which is few and far between, but I have it because I'm not gonna waste my other concealer. Bronzer. I love my bronzers. I don't hate this bronzer. I think it's a phenomenal bronzer, but out of my stash, this is the one that's gonna go. This is the NYC Smooth Skin Bronzing Face Powder in Sunny. the infamous Sunny Bronzer. The only reason this is going is because it is the oldest thing in my stash. It is very old, and it's so old that I'm thinking within the next week or so, when I revisit my stash and see if anything needs to go, this will probably go, just because of how old it is. And I am thinking of getting a new bronzer, possibly trying another one out. If not, I'm still gonna get rid of it. I think it's that old, and since I've used it so much, I know that it's probably not the healthiest thing to go on my skin anymore. But if you did tell me we're gonna go buy a drugstore bronzer, I would probably pick that one up. It's a really good one. Highlighter. For some reason, I'm like getting into the highlighting feels. I don't know who the heck I think I am. I don't wear that much highlighter. I don't. I like more subtle, but then it never really ends up subtle because I have no control. My motor skills are horrible. So I put on more than I anticipate to. But if I had to get rid of one, I'm gonna get rid of the Essence one. I know this, I rave about this. This is a really good highlighter, and this one is in Be My Highlight. I love how sheer this can be on my skin. This is one of the more mindless ones where I can go like this and it's never too much, as opposed to Champagne Pop. This is more so of the color. I love all the shades that I currently own. I think it was a toss-up between this and Champagne Pop, but when it comes to shade, I prefer Champagne Pop over this. The reason being is this can be ashy on my skin. I don't know why sometimes it is and sometimes it isn't. Maybe it's the combination of maybe the blush I'm putting on. Sometimes I feel it turns gray on my skin. So maybe a different shade would be a better option for me. But with what I have right now, because this is the only one that actually looks ashy on my skin, I'm gonna have to say I would give this one up. I wish that the Champagne Pop had the kind of sheer intensity of this one. It would be perfect. I have this little sample. I've had this sample sent to me many a times. This is the MAC in Extreme Dimension 3D Black Lash. It's too watery. I like thick, clumpy mascara. Just kind of grab onto my non-existent, barely there lashes and make them long, plump. And this just doesn't do it for me. I know this is horrible, but I find it's the fastest way to do it. I just keep pumping air into it. I just keep pumping air into it, let it get a little more tacky, and then I like it. The police didn't say that I had to give up something I actually purchased. So we're giving up this mascara, because hell no am I gonna give the other two away. Shall we go with blusher? This is a Tom Ford blush. You guys know, if you have been with me for some time, my blushes are my treasure. I would give up my eyeshadow palettes before I give up my blushes. I will go down fighting for my blushes. I have 3 Tom Ford blushes, a bunch of MAC ones, and I've depotted my NARS ones. None of them are going anywhere. I don't care what you say. Those 2 collections, no. So I had to look at my Tom Ford ones, 3, and I said, one of you gotta go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. So this is the cheek color in Love Lust. I would say it's very similar to NARS's Amore, but Amore is matte, and I prefer matte blushes. The shimmer in this, the sheen I should say, the sheen in this is a little more heavy than some of my MAC shimmer, not shimmer blushes, but like sheer tone, has a little bit of iridescence. The sheen on this is a little more apparent. I would say that some of the NARS ones do have chunkier glitters, but it doesn't look like highlighter on my face. So out of the 3 from Tom Ford, this was a very similar color to a lot of what I already own. The other 2 were deeper, and I feel that every time the holiday season rolls around, I'm like, yes, it's time for you. This I feel is year round, and I can dupe this pretty easily. I'm not gonna get rid of it, obviously, because this is expensive and I love my blushes. So I'm still gonna keep it, but out of all of the ones that I own, I would give you up. No! The blushes was like, it was torture for me. It was the last item I picked up because I absolutely love my blushes. Eyeshadow palette, I'm pretty sure you could have seen this in the background, but this is the Juvia's Place Masquerade palette. Funny story, this is what I have on my eyes. I was picking out items, I kind of was running through a list in my head, and I was like, this is the palette that I'm gonna give up. Why don't I just use it in my video? So I don't know. I've talked about it before. I have colors like this already, and these just aren't the type of color shades that I would go for. I prefer the other Juvia's Place palettes that I own, as well as the eyeshadows I picked up from ColourPop. So overall, it's either I have it or I don't necessarily like it. I'm still trying to figure out whether or not I want to give this up. So I'm still trying to figure out what to do with this one, but I would easily give it up if I had to. Lips. Surprisingly, this was easy. We have Russian Red. This is a lipstick that I would give up because I love all my other nude neutral lipsticks. I wasn't even gonna attempt to try and get rid of them. I have 2 red lipsticks. I have this and I have Ruby Woo, and I said Ruby Woo wins. This was the lipstick I used in my holiday tutorial that I posted, I think 2 videos back. It is a very pretty lipstick, it is, but I mean, I gotta give something up. So along with that, I don't really need the cherry lip liner. I think I prefer using Beat because the Beat lip liner is a little darker, and so it has a little bit of a contrast when I put a red lipstick on top of it. This I feel just stops it from feathering. It doesn't really match my red lipstick, so I don't need cherry. Now for liquid lipsticks, I would give up the NARS Power Matte Pigment in Light My Fire. Nothing to do with the formulation. I would have this in 1,000 colors if I liked the color. But the shade here out of the ones that I own is the one that I would use the least. And to go with that, I would also give up Lasting Sensation, lip pencil. I don't know why I picked both of these. I said if I'm gonna get rid of this one, then I really don't need this lip liner as well, because it's the only orange thing that I own. If you haven't tried the formulation of these NARS Power Matte Pigments, you have to try it. It's the most comfortable liquid lipstick. It is not as opaque and thick and drying as compared to other liquid lipsticks. It's so good. I just wish I chose a more wearable shade for me, because this is like very specific events, so both would go. This is the ColourPop Ultra Glossy Lip in Phew. Out of the ones that I own, this is the one that I reach for the least. However, can you see how much of this gloss I've used? It's down here. So I don't hate it. I think it's really pretty on top of other like lip products, but based off of what I do have, all 2 now. I think I only have 2. It's either this or the other one. So I chose this one just because I feel like it's not as universal as the other option that I have. By the way, the lip gloss that I'm almost done with, I'm repurchasing, just letting you know. So those are all the products that I would get rid of if I were forced to do so. No one is forcing me. I'm just forcing myself for content's sake. Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you like the makeup look, you guys know the drill. Check me out on Instagram. First link in the description box down below, where I will post a photo of the makeup look along with all of the products in the caption. Till the next video, I hope you all are doing well, taking great care of yourselves. I will see you all next time. Bye guys. Oh my gosh, it was still recording. Dumbo.